Speech Fridays. We're going to have a new intro next week because we've got a new supporter, a new partner for Free Speech Fridays is going to be sponsoring the spot, and I'm very, you'll love who it is. I'm just going to say it's a really great fit. And, you know, once a month, we get our old timers and our publicans, and though I'm glad we're doing this remotely and that Leo Molloy isn't going to be reaching for his guns. The sheriff. How are you, Leo? Nice to have you with us.
I'm just working on my gun show. I'm at the gym, so I'll be doing the gun show in a few minutes.
And Saloon Keep from the Backbencher Gastro Pub in Wellington, opposite Parliament, Boise, Alistair Boyce. How are you, mate?
G'day, Sean. G'day, Leo.
All right. Have you ever had, Boise, anyone with a gun enter your establishment?
He's had worse than that. He had Julia and Ginger in there the other night.
Her mouth is pretty dangerous, and so are her flapping hands and her brandishing of documents. Very dangerous.
Actually, that's very funny, Leo. It's a good segue into our first topic. So, gang member with a gun or Julianne Genter with a report. Has she ever, nutted off in your establishment, Alistair?
No, I don't remember her being in the backbencher, to be honest, but I'll tell you where she has nutted off, and that's through Waka Kotahi and through her levers through Wellington City Council. We've just had the Thorndon's now fallen to the Cycleways.
Yeah.
So with all its institutions, all its churches, all its schools, and now demanding that school children will have to go on bikes because you can't even drop your kids off on the main arterial routes anymore.
It could have been worse, guys. She could have cycled across the floor of the chamber to shake her report at Matt Ducey, couldn't she? They could have put in a Cycleway.
What I find curious about it, though, I reviewed that footage, and she's walked straight past little Simeon Brown, who's up there smiling like a Cheshire cat, absolutely loving it, over to Matt Ducey. Did she not realise that Simeon's the Minister of Transport and Matt's deputy, whatever he is? It's bloody madness. And do you know what that report was?
What?
Do you know exactly what it was? It was the Road to Zero document, which she's responsible for initiating and pushing the agenda for. That owes us $800 million, which, in so many levels, this is madness. I mean, clearly the woman's deranged anyway, but you've got to be deranged to get into the Green Party. It's compulsory. But that's a particularly bad example, and that's what happens when you go to Boise's for lunch and you're 3 bottles of 7.
I'm not trying to be controversial here, guys, but Alistair, what age do you think she is? Do you know other women of a similar age who've behaved like this?
Golra's Garriman. And Genter did the long Maoist walk across, march actually.
Yeah.
She had the bit between her teeth, and this is what she's like. She's absolutely authoritarian. Her authoritarian Marxist streak came right out. Everyone was doing it her way or the byway.
Yeah.
That's how she operates.
Okay, have you ever seen, I mean, you have a few politicians in your place, they might have a few. I've never seen anyone get physical in your place.
You're talking backbencher?
Yeah.
No, the politicians are generally well behaved. I mean, you've got to have Parliament's got to be a bit of a sanctum. I mean, otherwise it's just all hell's going to break loose.
Yeah.
You've got, communists on the left and free market capitalists on the right.
Yeah.
And if you let it degenerate, the whole thing degenerates and the country degenerates.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, guys, look, no matter what Julianne does, James Shaw runs off to maybe finish his degree. We have Golras in the shoplifting. We got the woman who's running the slavery ring with her husband, and the Greens keep rising in the polls. It's like there's such a cult now. Their supporters don't care, Leo.
Well, bitterness and the desire to seize other people's assets is heavily baked in amongst the young idealistic community, and there's a multitude of ways this is manifesting itself at the moment. I think you later want to touch on the Palestinian-related issue, but it's the same people who are behaving exactly the same way, and they all subscribe to the same values, or lack of values, as the case may be. And it's basically, I'm an unproductive person, I'll dye my hair purple, then I want what you've got because I can spend it better than you can. That's exactly the same philosophy that prevails across all those universities like Columbia up north and prevails in the Green Party in New Zealand.
Yeah, Boise, it is amazing that they're still polling, going from strength to strength. And it would have to be one of the worst years for any political party you've ever seen.
Yeah, it is quite amazing, but it shows that dichotomy going on in politics, and the extreme left, that ideological Marxist edge with the identity politics, they have no reality for our reality as far as economic liberalism and normal markets with economic growth. They want to tear all that down. So it doesn't matter internally what their leaders do. I mean, that's what they're trying to do in our society anyway.
Yeah.
So it's the blind leading the blind.
Yeah. Meantime, guys, and I did so, I wanted to talk about, let's get into it, the Palestine protest. And I think on social media we're all seeing what's happening up at Columbia, which is madness. And I was talking to Juliet Moses earlier on, and she basically said there is a danger that extremism and sort of protest that's happening at Columbia and in America is basically being imported here, or we're going to get, if you like, copycat protest movements, Leah?
Well, I've had a bit of it in Sydney already, and we know at this age they do mimic each other because they all want attention. They're all on social media. So instead of going to classes, and most of the classes are doing a waste of time anyway, we should defund them, half those classes. Unless it involves science and math, they shouldn't be studying it at university. Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit, but yes, it is spreading across the world, and it will keep spreading until it comes to an end, which it is rapidly coming to an end in North America. And I see Australia, they'll almost certainly flex their muscles over there and won't put up with that rubbish.
Yeah, they should be. Gee, see, this is the weird thing, Alistair. Yesterday morning on I think it was breakfast, they had some Sheila from overseas with a tea towel on her head saying this is what the students want. And they provided no coverage to, I think, a far more important story happening at Victoria University in Wellington, and that is the closing down of an event on free speech, because the snowflake students and the Students' Union got all upset about it. And it just seems to me our priorities and these students' priorities are completely wrong.
Yeah, I'm with you. The TVNZ are aiding and abetting, undermining our society. And then the biggest story is that university one, because that just exemplifies where these universities are at. They've lost control of their academic purpose and their purpose in society. And now they're just trying to train up automatons who'll put on those scarves and redneck the streets, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. And look, Juliet Moses said today that she thought the Vice-Chancellor at Auckland had put out a useful statement. We have Victoria University coming out and say we are going to have this event, but they've got some new speakers involved, including that woman, Abdul Rahman, who is from the Islamic Women's Council, Anjan Rahman, Morgan Godfrey, super lefty academic, Labour Party unionist, and someone from the Rainbow community, who are all going to be on the side of controlling speech and not free speech, the anti-free speech people. I think that our university managers, apart from Grant Robertson down at the, whatever it's Mariname University of Otago, guys, I think they are scared of the stupidity of the student mob and the wokeness, and I think they're still afraid of being cancelled, the university managers and senior leaders.